and bring in Mike Pompeo, President Trump's former Secretary of State, former head of the CIA, and Fox News contributor. Great to have you with us today. So your reaction to what we saw, sir?
Well, Martha, it's great to be with you. That is quite unusual in one sense. It's unusual in the sense of this played out in public, but I've seen many, many tough conversations with world leaders. I've been part of them with the Chinese and with others. President Trump has certainly been part of them. I was party to those as well. So the vigorous nature of the debate that took place, each side staking out its arguments, its claim, each trying to deliver on behalf of its own people, that frankly didn't stun me. I'm probably pretty hard to surprise at this point. Yeah. But I was surprised that this took place in the Oval Office with the media still present. And then the second thing I observed was when you're engaged in these things that are absolutely important to the United States of America and to the Ukrainian people and to Europe, you have to make sure you don't personalize this. This can't be about individuals. This is so much bigger than that. This matters so much to how this administration can successfully deliver the deterrence that it had during the first 4 years, push back against Vladimir Putin as we had done. You have to make sure that you get the ideas right. You have to get the structure right. It's about actions, not words. And when we get those things right, we can deliver a really good outcome for the United States and frankly, a good outcome for Europe and Ukraine as well. And if you get them wrong, then there's lots of risk, as President Trump described in the Oval Office.
All right. Just a quick question before we go to the second part. When President Trump said, you have no cards, with us you have cards, and you are gambling with World War III, do you agree with those statements?
There's no doubt. Ukraine, without the support of the United States of America, puts itself in real jeopardy, real risk. We ought to make sure we do this well and do this powerfully. And when we do, Ukraine will have a chance to get a good outcome. And that matters. That matters to the United States deeply, Martha. Yeah,
it matters to the security of the world, really. And that is the goal that was set out to be achieved today, with just this first piece being a mineral deal. I think everyone needs to understand that. This was, the first piece. And as President Trump has said, you don't get to figure out peacekeeping troops until you get further down the line here. So this was part one, and maybe they'll be able to salvage it. Let's watch the next section of this really historic moment for all of us who've been following this war very closely. Watch this.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
So, Secretary Pompeo, you said you've seen plenty of this behind closed doors, and we remember the North Korea story where, the president just came home. We're not going to get a deal in this. So what is lost or gained in this particular situation by the fact that the entire country and the world did watch this?
Yeah, look, I think pretty clear the different views that are held. Some of this was counterfactual, right? When President Zelenskyy said that they've been alone, that President Trump's right. That's not been the case. In fact, in my case, my judgment is we actually should have done more to deter Vladimir Putin, as we had done the 4 years prior to the Biden administration. But I think now the world can see what's at stake. They can see passionate leaders that are each trying to protect their own interests. And I think it's very clear now that if we get this wrong, that this risk to global security is very, very real. Make no mistake about it. Vladimir Putin was watching this today. Xi Jinping, Chairman Kim, the Ayatollah. The list of people who were watching this in the Oval Office today was very long. And so now what will matter is how does this proceed?
Yeah, what do you think their reaction is?
I think they
just take Putin for starters here. He watching all this very closely.
I think
so what do you think his reaction is?
I think Putin has seen. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Putin has seen this side of Donald Trump. Right? It is the case that the Javelin missiles that protected Kyiv the night of the maximal Russian aggression in 2017 were a result of Donald Trump having put them in there when President Obama had refused to do so. So I think Putin gets that Donald Trump is going to be someone who takes seriously the responsibility to deter aggression from Russia. And so I think he saw that on full display today, a vigorous president capable of articulating America's interests deeply and strongly.
Yeah, but Putin does not want there to be a mineral deal, right? And he has no intention of giving up the territory where 20 to 30% of these minerals actually lie, right? So would he be pleased that with the opportunity that potentially this mineral deal is going to fall apart?
Yeah, but I agree with that, Martha, but there's still many shoes to drop on this.
Yeah.
We still don't know how this ultimately concludes. No, there's no doubt. Vladimir Putin, I think Zelenskyy got this piece right. You can't trust Vladimir Putin to live by any agreement. We withdrew from a couple of nuclear agreements with the Russians during our time that they weren't abiding by. There's no chance that we can expect that he will live up to it. This is about power, force, capabilities, and the United States is the power and the force with the capability to actually deter the Russians with the right leadership.
Okay, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, thank you very much. We will speak with General
Thank
Jack
you, Martha.
Keane.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much, sir.